Here, we acknowledge the distinction between what is and what merely appears to be, letting go of the habit of mistaking imagination for reality. All that is required is the abandonment of erroneous beliefs. Words are not facts, they are merely representations of facts. What Wu Hsin highlights is the importance of coming into direct contact with reality itself, without allowing your belief system to interfere. So do not interrupt. Observe the situation differently, enabling us to perceive what truly matters. Whether you agree or disagree with what is being stated is irrelevant. Truth does not require your agreement, only your recognition. You are timeless, infinitely present, here and now. This might seem like an accomplishment, but it is not. You gain nothing. Instead, you simply lose. There is nothing to learn, however, there is much to unlearn. One must possess immense patience to understand and discern this. It is a long process of unlearning until discernment arises suddenly in an instant, and when it does, it is beyond words. These instructions will not take you anywhere. Instead, they guide you back to the place you never left. In essence, the teaching addresses three aspects. First, on the phenomenal plane, when one ceases to resist what is and harmonizes with it, clarity arises. Second, as clear vision deepens, it becomes evident that no one is doing anything. There is only one acting through the many and varied phenomena that serve as its instruments. Third, the seemingly separate I is a misunderstanding created by the mind, which divides everything into a subject, the I, and an object, the world outside this I. This apparent duality, the feeling of being separate and apart, is the root cause of unhappiness. By contemplating the source of all things, the natural state that exists prior to any manifestation, the individual, the I, is finally seen as just another object. The return to unity is nothing more than the end of this division. Roy Melvin, author of the lost writings of Wu Hsin, Pointers to Non-Duality. Absolute understanding, selections from Wu Hsin. Every man is born twice. First, he emerges from his mother's womb, then the notion of the I arises. That is when the problem begins. Parents, teachers, and society perpetuate this trance called the I. To see clearly, challenge, and investigate your reality. Direct cognition is available here and now. Let me create a massive fire and fuel it with all your concepts, judgments, and ideas. Once the fire burns them away, the world will be seen as a perfect place. Here lies the absolute simplicity of the matter. In the absence of identification with anything, who are you? There is a central concept upon which everything else is built. This central concept is the I, the notion of a distinct identity standing apart from the world. Only when this is seen as false can what is true shine forth. The arrival of clarity is the loss of what was never truly yours. The final step on any spiritual journey is the loss of self. Trust that what brought you here will also lead you there. All that exists is consciousness. Consciousness is all there is. Without consciousness, what remains? All manifestations arise and dissolve within consciousness. Consciousness is the precondition for all perception. Everything perceived is perceived by consciousness as an object of consciousness, including the perceiver. Understand this. And then go tend to your carrots. Thinking creates more problems than it solves. Struggling with the mind only strengthens it. Seeing through the mind to what is prior to it removes all its power. The flow of the mind is continuous. Wishing to stop it is like trying to bury your own shadow. The goal, therefore, is not to stop thoughts, but to cease identifying with them. Thoughts are like uninvited guests at a party. Ignored and unfed, they leave. Trying to understand unity is as futile as trying to drink with your ears. Using the mind to achieve ultimate understanding is like hiring a thief to guard your house from other thieves. You do not know what is good, you only know what is good for you. But even this is relative. What is good for you may be bad for me. What is good for you today may be bad for you tomorrow. Wouldn't it be wiser to leave judgment to fools? The strategy of seeking an advantageous position in life is the root of sorrow. You are not the main character in this play. You are merely one of many characters, each with a role to perform. No actor can change their role on stage according to preference. Why perpetuate an illusion by trying to control what cannot be controlled? I laugh when I hear you speak of your plans. Anything that can be obtained can also be lost. Only the eternal lasts forever. This realization is the first step toward unity. The unity that is, that always has been, and that always will be. What does the orange tree need to do to bear fruit? What does the sky need to do to be blue? What is natural requires no study or practice. Does anyone study how to sleep? To attain what is natural, simply remove what is unnatural. The fruit contains the seed, which in turn contains the fruit. Simply sitting without purpose, without schedule, without form, and without intent, the seed opens into the fruit. Simply sitting. Men are so captivated by the tree that they have forgotten the seed, the source of the tree. To believe oneself to be what comes and goes is sheer madness. To think that what is transient can lead to what is permanent is to court disappointment. What comes and goes is mere appearance. That which perceives all comings and goings is the only substance. By drinking this elixir, life is recognized as eternal. The way out is the way back. Turn your attention to that from which infinity arose. Look deeply within yourself and try to find yourself. The failure that follows is the true discovery. How can light find darkness? Darkness is merely the absence of light. How can one find their origin? The origin is revealed only through your own absence. A shadow cannot exist without substance, but the shadow is not the substance. How can the world exist for you if you are not there to perceive it? The creation of distinctions arises from the cycle of pleasure and pain. When all is accepted with equanimity, stillness is established. All conflicts between friends, lovers, families, and kingdoms begin as internal conflict. To free oneself from conflict is to free the world from conflict. The past is only a memory. The future is merely a hope. All that exists is this moment. Only this moment is eternal and real. All else is the mind. Why complain about the darkness when there are unlit candles by your bedside? It's simple. Recognize what you are not. See all that you are not. What remains is what has always been. Various methods may lead you to greater comfort, but that is all they do. One who is comfortable in their prison cannot be freed by anyone. Nothing will release them, for they are the prison itself. When sandals are comfortable, you sit barefoot. When the robe is comfortable, you sit unclothed. All discomfort is a call for attention. Pay attention to what you are, not to what you appear to be. This is the key that unlocks the door. My method has no method. Just stop. Stop clinging, stop planning, stop praying, stop seeking, stop analyzing, stop all your strategies, and finally, stop giving thoughts the power to define who you are. There is nothing to do. There is no one to do it. Seeing clearly is an impersonal event that occurs in the absence of the one who desires to see clearly. In fact, the one who desires to see clearly is the greatest obstacle to clarity. No one is humble, there is only humility. No one is compassionate, there is only compassion. When someone is removed, something is revealed. If you knew this was all just a dream, would anything else really matter? At every moment, you have the chance to break the spell of your personal story. Stepping into the realm of complete peace is within reach through a single moment of detachment. What are you waiting for? Debating feeds the mind. Starve it until it dies of hunger. This is true liberation. Who dies when the body dies? What truly perishes when the body is gone? All individuals die. Only those who have transcended the concept of individuality live forever. Attaining immortality is simple. Let go of possession over the body and mind. Remain rooted in what existed before your own appearance. All that is needed is to stop seeing yourself in the world and start seeing the world within yourself. Going deeper is the only way out. There is nowhere to go. Everything that exists is here. When there are no more goals, the objective is achieved. To reach understanding, one must focus less on what is and more on what is not. When all the clouds disappear, the sun reveals itself in all its splendor. Take everything away until what remains is only you. Then take yourself away as well, and the dwelling place of happiness will be revealed. The key to happiness lies in renouncing what is not essential. Stillness, dreaming, awakening, this is the great wheel. When the knower of these three states is known, the great gate opens. Any awakening to truth is intuitive and spontaneous. Nothing needs to be done. It is the nature of the flame to burn. It is the nature of the moth to fly toward the light. If the moth is destroyed by the flame, is it the flame's fault? It is not the extraordinary that deserves attention, but the ordinary. Thoughts arise, the kettle whistles, and the answer to both is the same. To name is to build a fence between what is named and the one who names it. All of life becomes pure when mental commentary is silenced. Then a simple cup of tea transforms into a sacred moment. A dog does not know it is a dog, it only knows that it is. If only man could be so fortunate. It is easy to get lost in imagination. Harder still to root oneself in what is. The beauty of music is felt, not analyzed. Hold a single note 1 second too long and the melody is lost. True life happens when no one tries to guide it. All art is created in the absence of the artist. The end of unhappiness occurs in the absence of the one who is unhappy. You are the only obstacle. The path beyond you passes through you. What can exist without you? Answer this and all other questions will be resolved. Going deeper is the only way out. There is nowhere to go. Everything that exists is here. When there are no more goals, the objective is achieved. To reach understanding, one must focus less on what is and more on what is not. When all the clouds disappear, the sun reveals itself in all its splendor. Take everything away until what remains is only you. Then take yourself away as well, and the dwelling place of happiness will be revealed. The key to happiness lies in renouncing what is not essential. Stillness, dreaming, awakening, this is the great wheel. When the knower of these three states is known, the great gate opens. Any awakening to truth is intuitive and spontaneous. Nothing needs to be done. It is the nature of the flame to burn. It is the nature of the moth to fly toward the light. If the moth is destroyed by the flame, is it the flame's fault? The world is merely a flow of opposites, one and many, full and empty, coming and going. This movement continues. The one who is unaffected by the flow is the one who accepts it. The world is profoundly different when the identified I is not present. Once the function of perceiving is clearly understood, the notion of inside and outside vanishes. But how can one describe a color to a man born blind? Why so many words? Let stillness speak. In it, all questions find their answers. Ideas distort experience. The one who is empty of ideas experiences life in its fullness. The ignorant are those who ignore the essential. To know the heavens, the earth, and all things, yet not know oneself, is the highest form of ignorance. Awaken from this trance or remain buried alive. Accepting that snow is white, that the crow is black, that summers are hot and winters are cold, is the heart of understanding all that is. It is not the extraordinary that deserves attention, but the ordinary. Thoughts arise, the kettle whistles, and the answer to both is the same. To name is to build a fence between what is named and the one who names it. All of life becomes pure when mental commentary is silenced. Then a simple cup of tea transforms into a sacred moment. A dog does not know it is a dog, it only knows that it is. If only man could be so fortunate. It is easy to get lost in imagination, harder still to root oneself in what is. The beauty of music is felt, not analyzed. Hold a single note 1 second too long and the melody is lost. True life happens when no one tries to guide it. All art is created in the absence of the artist. The end of unhappiness occurs in the absence of the one who is unhappy. You are the only obstacle. The path beyond you passes through you. What can exist without you? Answer this and all other questions will be resolved. Thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate your time and attention. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Also, feel free to leave a comment below with your thoughts or any questions you may have. I'd love to hear from you. See you in the next video.